Oh, hello there. Yes, you, sitting there with a face that says, well, this is my life now. First things first, if you are lonely, congratulations. You have accidentally joined one of the largest clubs on the planet. The membership is enormous. Millions of people wandering around supermarkets thinking, if someone asked me how my day was, I might cry directly into the bananas. You are not alone in being alone, which is an absurd sentence when you think about it. Loneliness is a strange creature. It sits next to you on the couch, like a quiet roommate who never pays rent, but somehow eats all your snacks. It whispers helpful things, like everyone else has their life together. They don't. Oh no, they do. They absolutely do not. Half the planet is improvising their existence, like a jazz musician who lost the sheet music sometime in 2007. The confident-looking fellow jogging past your window? Yesterday, he cried into his protein shake while doing single-arm tricep cable extensions. The cheerful woman at the cafe? She once waved back at someone who wasn't waving at her and is still thinking about it 7 years later. Humanity is a festival of awkwardness, and loneliness thrives on a particular illusion that you are the only one sitting quietly in a room thinking strange thoughts about existence, drop bears, and the meaning of Tuesday afternoons. But imagine, just for a moment, a magical satellite floating above Earth that could hear everyone's inner monologue. The report would read something like this. Subject 14 is worried their friends secretly tolerate them. Subject 26 believes they are fundamentally weird. Subject 78 has eaten cereal for dinner again and feels both powerful and ashamed. You see the pattern. The truth is this. If you could somehow hear the inside of a stranger's head, just one stranger, anyone, you would probably recognize most of it. The low-grade worry that your friends merely tolerate you. The cereal eaten for dinner felt simultaneously as freedom and defeat. The strange, specific shame that has no name. Loneliness often isn't the absence of people. It's the feeling that your strange little inner world doesn't connect with anyone else's. But here's the wonderful twist. Everyone's inner world is strange. Every single person is walking around with a brain that occasionally says things like, what if we are the cells in a giant's body? Or, maybe I should become a bird whisperer. Or, I would have been the one if I did that thing that day. We are all deeply ridiculous creatures pretending to be sensible. And when loneliness creeps in, it tells you a very convincing story. You are separate. But the truth is far funnier. You are not separate. You are part of a gigantic, confused, slightly anxious species that invented chairs, sandwiches, and reality television while still not understanding how emotions work. Loneliness says, no one sees you. But that's not quite right. Somewhere out there are people who would understand you instantly if they met you. The kind who laugh at the same odd things. The kind who also stare at the ceiling at night, thinking about something that happened in 2016. You just haven't bumped into them yet. Human friendships often begin in the most ridiculous ways. Two strangers both reach for the same elevator button. Someone complains about the weather. Someone else says, this bus smells like soup. Suddenly, connection. Civilizations have started on weaker foundations. And in the meantime, while the universe is arranging these future companions, there are small rebellions you can commit against loneliness. You can go outside and sit somewhere with people around, even if you talk to no one. You can send a message that simply says, hello, I remembered you existed. You can wave at a dog. Dogs are extremely supportive of lonely humans. They look at you like you are a magnificent hero who has returned from battle, even if you merely walked to the mailbox. You can also remember this: loneliness is not proof that you are unlovable. It is proof that you are a social creature with a heart that expects connection. And frankly, that's a pretty decent design flaw to have, because the same brain that sometimes whispers, "no one cares," is also capable of extraordinary warmth. It can laugh with strangers, it can care about fictional characters, it can become ridiculously attached to a mug. You are a creature capable of joy over soup, sunlight, and the perfect chair. That is not nothing. And if today happens to be one of those quiet days where the world feels a bit distant, remember this small but comforting fact: somewhere on this planet, at this very moment, another person is also sitting alone, wondering if anyone else feels like they do. Which means, in a beautifully ironic way, you too are already keeping each other company. You don't need to do anything with that. It's just true.